Today I'll perform more than 40 cool and simple magic tricks with Lego, and later I'll reveal all the secrets behind them. So anyway, let the show begin. Okay, so magic is kinda cool, but sometimes it can be dangerous. So this is what happens when a magic trick fails. Or did it? Because if you look at it from the side, this long plate actually goes around my hand, and I totally tricked all of you. You can also repeat the same trick on a Lego minifigure, or even on a Lego brick itself. Just insert a plate on both sides, and it looks like this Lego brick was pierced. This next build I made is a very sharp fruit cutting device, and this blade can easily slice a banana in half. So what would happen if I put my finger in front of it? Oh wow, guys, I guess I'm invincible. But if you look closely, the Lego blade actually goes around my finger. And the final dangerous magic trick with Lego is this device that can print real money. I just need to insert a fake bill from one side, and when I turn this knob, a real cash bill comes out the other side. You might ask, why is it dangerous? Because printing money is illegal. This looks like an ordinary Lego box, but when I drop a minifig inside, it leaves the chat. So this category of magic is called illusions. And this build works because inside I added a mirror piece, and the minifig falls behind it, making it look like he vanished. Then I also built this Minecraft portal to the Nether, and behind it I have 2 sets of TNT blocks, but actually it's one long stack. And this illusion works because inside the portal I added a mirror, so now I can hide things behind it and it still looks like an entrance to another world. And for the last trick, I have this Lego build and I'll make this Lego Technic axle appear on the other side. Watch closely. Guys, I am the best wizard in the world. But in reality, inside I built it in a way that this long axle pushes around and makes this smaller piece pop out. Magic? Maybe. Smart build? Absolutely. Another category of magic is movie magic. So here I have a minifig that stands there like a statue, but if I use this magic wand on him, he becomes alive. Oh wow, bro just waved at me. And it works because of stop motion. By taking a bunch of pictures and changing the minifigure's position, you can make a minifigure walk like this. Or he can even do a backflip. And you can even use other Lego pieces to make the environment more realistic. For example, creating water splashes when a minifigure jumps into a blue base plate. It's kinda cool, but in reality, it takes a lot of time to make this stuff. And now let's have a speed round of easy Lego magic tricks. Here I have a normal Lego 2x4 brick, and with my magic hands, I'll make it split in half. Crazy, right? But in reality, I was holding 2 identical 2x2 bricks close to each other, and I simply separated them. Here's another trick with a brick. I can make these studs go away, and now it's a naked brick. And to do this, I had this loose plate on top of tiles, and I simply covered it with my thumb while removing it. And finally, if I take this minifig by its face and start rubbing real hard, I can delete the minifig's face with only my hands. And this trick is super simple. Just cover up the face and turn it around, and it looks like the face got deleted. And those are some easy tricks you can flex to your friends. Next category is smart magic with Lego. For this first trick, I've built white and brown plates out of Legos that look like chocolate, but angle it differently and a hole appears in the middle. Kinda cool. I swear, guys, I didn't eat it. But then I built this colorful worm out of Technic pieces, and when I release it, it starts falling and seemingly never ends. It's very satisfying to play with. This is a small Lego toaster, and this is a white bread piece. If I add it to a toaster and wait a few seconds, bam! A fully toasted bread piece pops out. And this toaster has a smart feature inside. I used this short Technic axle to push the toasted bread that was hiding inside in the catapult, and it made it look like the bread got toasted. This looks like an ordinary minifigure, but if I start turning it to the side, now it's completely cursed. Guys, this took me forever to align. But anyways, this opens up room for more minifigure scale illusions out of Lego. And this first build is a staircase for a minifigure. And it looks impossible because they seem to never end. But it looks like that only from the right angle. Then I built this ordinary Lego door. Crazy, right? But when I open it up, there's a whole Lego world inside. How would that fit in there? And the final one is all about physics. If I place this Lego can at the bottom of a plank, it rolls upwards? How? Okay, if I zoom out and show the whole build, you can see that everything was tilted to the side. Still a pretty cool illusion. Okay, so one of the first magic tricks you can perform with Lego is minifigure magic. So here I have a magician minifig, and he can do all the real-life tricks like splitting a Lego man in half.
Oh no!
Or he can pull a rabbit out of his hat. You can recreate the sword box by placing a minifig inside and piercing it with Lego swords. And the minifig is totally fine. He shed some extra weight. Then he can also perform a disappearing trick with another minifigure. All he has to do is enter inside and oh wow, he's literally gone. Also, he even has the power to levitate using his magic. Then he can use this Lego axe to cut a minifig in half. But magically, this guy can still wiggle his legs. He's totally fine, guys! We can't talk about magic without mentioning Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is conveniently a sponsor of today's video. So this is an adventure game where you basically need to uncover the source of the forgetting by helping different Disney and Pixar characters like Mickey Mouse or Wall-E recover their lost memory. Okay, so there's a lot you can do in the game, like digging up and planting different foods, fishing, and cleaning the night thorns out of the valley. My favorite feature is a character customization, and you can even get hungry in the game, so don't forget to eat. And to celebrate May the 4th, Gameloft added Star Wars-inspired items to the premium shop. Build your own Tatooine with the unique decoration set. Befriend an all-new droid BB-8,
and try on Padme's Summer Meadow outfit.
You can also catch some of last year's items with the return of R2-D2, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, and more. The celebration runs until May 6th, 2026. Okay, so thanks to Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Use the link in the description to get Disney Dreamlight Valley. Now back to the magic tricks. Okay, now it's time for some real-life magic tricks recreated in Lego. Here, I've built a Lego rod out of these blue bricks, and it's clearly one solid piece. But when I put it into this Lego box and use magic, the blue piece magically turns into 3 separate ones. But if I do it in reverse, the blue piece is back together. I'll tell you how it works a bit later, because now I want to show you this Lego box. Inside, I made a working drawer that is full of golden pieces, but when I close it and open it again, everything disappears. Next, I have this empty Lego container with transparent walls, and when I smack it on the table, a minifigure appears out of nowhere. And finally, I built some Lego rings, and I want to recreate that trick where all the rings magically connect together. Oh wow, it actually worked. Guys, maybe I should join a magic school. And now it's time to explain the tricks. So the first one is just a clever build that hides a similar pattern inside that makes it look like the stick splits. The drawer actually has 2 drawers inside, and I simply hold the top one with my finger and reveal the hidden drawer. And the box with the minifig inside, I simply tape the minifig at the top, and when I smack it on the table, it drops. And that's the simple magic trick explanation. And these rings connect with each other because I left an invisible gap so I can magically connect them. This is a magic 8-ball, and it can give magical answers that are always correct.
Hey, should I build you out of Lego?
It says absolutely. So then, let's recreate this magic 8-ball in Lego. And this is how it turned out. But the best part is that it actually works like the real one because inside, I designed this answer machine out of Lego steering wheels and shield pieces and glued answers so when you shake it, it'll give the answer just like a real 8-ball. And since it's a magic 8-ball, every answer is 100% true. Let's do more things. Should this Lego man get together with this girl minifig?
Nope.
Oh man, you are out of luck. Let's try another thing. Should I destroy this Lego castle set? But wait, before that, am I the best Lego YouTuber?
Nope.
Chat? The ball said yes. Okay, we can't talk about magic without Harry Potter. He's clearly a wizard. And here I have his Lego version that can lift a broom with one word and he can even levitate on it. And Lego actually has more magic-related sets, like this Harry Potter Book of Monsters set. And honestly, this book is kind of scary. But the coolest part about it is that it's actually alive, it can move by itself and even open its mouth. But since it's a book, let's see what's written inside. Oh, we have an actual monster truck inside. And another magic set I found is this Lego Friends Mia's Magic Trick set. We have Mia's mini doll dressed as a magician, this unique piece with cards, a hat with a rabbit, and this box that should make a rabbit disappear. So let's build her and test if she's better than Harry Potter. The stage is ready. Now we open the box and put the rabbit in. A little bit of abracadabra. What? The rabbit's gone. Wait a minute, the rabbit simply fell into the box. This is not real magic, but still kind of cool. Okay, this next build is gonna magically turn Lego builds into real items, starting with this Lego banana piece. Let's see if this machine works. Oh wow, no way! It turned into a real banana! Okay, next I built a Lego Pepsi can, and I want to test if it can turn into a real one. Nice! Okay, now I'm kinda hungry, so the final build I want to turn into a real one is this Lego pizza slice. I built it with every topping imaginable, so let's hope it'll be super tasty once turned into a real one. Yes! I have successfully created myself a meal using only Lego! Okay, so one of the first things to do with a minifigure is to use its head as a ball piece for a maze game. So I built this maze out of Lego, and the goal is to make it all the way through while you avoid falling into any of these holes. And after a few tries, I finally managed to win. And now I'm not bored at all. Another cool trick is to take a minifigure's arms and attach them to your phone camera. And now you can film from a Lego man's point of view. If you're still bored, you can take dental floss, wrap it around 2 trees, and you've just made a cool zip line for a minifigure. Bro is full of action. And if you're still bored, you can take a random plastic bag, attach it to a minifigure's hands, and now he can skydive. So to test it, I went on my rooftop to see if it works. Oh wait, I forgot it's quite windy today. Nice, he actually landed. Another thing to do is to take a random Lego minifigure and use it as a game piece for a board game. So I took this Lego man to be my Monopoly game piece. Okay, bro, I guess you are going to jail. If you're really bored, you can use a Lego man as a projectile to shoot at the hoops and score imaginary points. You can take a bunch of minifigs, line them up on the table, and then topple them over, creating a domino effect. By using these pieces, you can make an infinite basketball arcade for the minifigure. And if you make two, you can play with your friends and see who wins. Another trick when you're bored is building a bowling alley and a Lego ball and using minifigures as pins. Strike! And finally, if you have these spinner pieces, you can attach any minifigure on it, give them weapons, and now you have a cool Lego battle simulator. Okay, now let's have a round of useful ideas with minifigures. If you have a glow-in-the-dark minifig, you can attach it to your lamp switch, and when you turn off the light in your room, you'll still be able to find the switch in the dark. Take a random minifigure, attach magnets to it, and now it's a Lego-themed fridge magnet that can hold notes. Aw, these two look adorable. And wait, what does this minifigure hold in his hands? You could use a minifigure to hold a pencil, or even be your personal phone charger holder. Take two minifigs, attach them to your fingers, and now you can use them as chopsticks to eat chips and not get dirty. You can use a minifig as a guitar pick. Let's see what song I can play with it. And finally, if you are thirsty, you can use a minifig as a can opener. Ah, nice. If you're really bored, you can take most iconic minifigures and make them small builds. Here's Steve from Minecraft, and for him, I'm gonna build a small village biome. Here's gonna be his house with a bed and crafting table, and next to him lives the annoying villager who always asks too many emeralds for everything. Then I took a Batman minifigure, and for him, I built this platform that you can twist around, and it magically changes his clothes. Let's turn one more time.
Oh wow, I didn't know you had this outfit.
Okay, next is gonna be Spider-Man, and for him, I recreated a scene where he's saving an old lady from a criminal using his webs.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
And finally, I have Darth Vader, and I recreated the iconic scene from Star Wars where he says his iconic phrase,
I am the Father.
Let's now have a quick round of random ideas of what to do with a minifigure. If you have a plastic cup and a string at home, you can attach the minifigure to a string and tie the other end to the stick you place under the cup. It creates a fun minigame. The goal is to land the minifig into the cup. Okay, if you want to scratch your back and it's impossible to reach, build a long stick from Lego and attach a minifig at the end of it, and bro will help you. Oh yeah, that's great. Another idea for a minifigure is to build him transportation from paper. So for this minifigure, I built a paper airplane. Okay, this is what we got now. The pilot is ready, so let's take him outside and see if it'll fly. Oh wow, he actually flew quite far. This guy's a good pilot. Okay guys, I'm about to show you cool hacks using only minifigure parts that break records. This is an ordinary minifig, but I can make him taller by giving him these long legs. Then if I add this special torso on him, bro becomes 2 times taller with twice as many arms. Then you can also build the world's widest minifig like this one. He's so wide that he struggles to fit through narrow spaces. For this next one, I used these Lego tubes, and with that, created a minifigure with the longest arms. If you have a Lego keychain minifig, you can actually take its arms off and add them to a normal minifig. And now bro looks like he lives in the gym. If you take a small rubber band and pull it through the minifig's torso, you can easily pose his arms in every direction. You can make a minifig with the most heads by simply stacking them one on another. This is an official Lego cape, but if you turn it around to the front, now it kind of looks like bro's ready for a low taper fade. Okay, and here's some ideas with leg pieces. By combining arm pieces with legs, you can make a minifig into a crab, or you can make a minifig kneel. By crossing both legs, it looks like bro's meditating. Or by connecting them to this special piece, you can make the minifig into a martial arts master. And lastly, if you put legs in front of the minifigure, bro looks like he's in a lot of pain. Another thing you can do with a minifigure when you're bored is to make him experience every emotion. For example, I want to make him happy, so I'll give him a Lego ice cream. Nice. And if I want to make him sad, I'll give his ice cream to this pirate. Now I'll make him experience anger by giving all of the ice cream to this pirate. Bro's furious. But what about fear? So I built this Lego room and filled it with spiders. Yeah, I'd be scared too. To make him feel disgusted, let's give him this rotten Lego chicken. Okay, bro went through a huge roller coaster of emotions, so the final emotion is gonna be a surprise, because I'm gonna give him a ticket to Legoland. Nice. He did not expect that. I think we're even after all the other emotions. Okay, if you are super bored, you can take an ordinary Lego minifigure and simulate his entire day in Lego. But bro is currently homeless, so I built him a room with a bed and other necessities, and now we can start simulating his day. And literally the very first thing in anyone's day is waking up. Next, he's gonna go to school, so he takes his trusty skateboard and on he goes. Okay, the school bus is here, and finally we arrive at the school where the minifigure has to survive biology class. And today's subject is anatomy of a minifigure. Uh-oh, it's pop quiz time. Thankfully, the minifigure is saved by the bell. Okay, we survived school, and as an after-school activity, I built this skate park where our minifig can shred and score aura points. Or lose them. After the skate park, our minifig needs to return back home, but it's still not bedtime, so he's gonna hop on a call with the boys and get a few dubs in Fortnite. And finally, after the long and awesome day, it's finally time to go to bed. And just like that, we have successfully simulated a whole day for the minifigure. Alright, the next thing to do when you're bored is doing satisfying things with minifigure parts. For example, you can take all of your Lego head pieces and build a wall out of them. It looks satisfying and cursed at the same time. Or you can take a bunch of Lego hand pieces and arrange them in this satisfying manner. Oh wow, that feels very relaxing. Take an ordinary minifigure, disassemble all of it, and challenge yourself to rebuild it so that every part is in a different color. Oh, looks like a jester now. And if you're still bored, take a minifigure of every color and arrange them in a rainbow pattern on a Lego board that also represents every color of a minifigure. Damn, this looks like an art piece now. If you are really bored, you can take any Lego minifigure and pretend that it's your pet. So first I gotta feed him, starting from vegetables.
Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, he's not eating that, so I prepared a super delicious picnic for him. Okay, so the next thing to do is to take him for a walk, but first he needs a leash, so I'm gonna use this Lego chain piece and attach it to him. Oh wow, he really got that dog in him. But now, bro smells like crazy, so the next step for our pet is to give him a cleaning routine. There, our pet minifigure is clean.
Let's give him some privacy.
And as every respectful pet owner, I have to clean up after him too. Okay, so bro's gone potty, got cleaned, went for a walk, and ate. Finally, it's time for him to go to bed. And I built one using rubber bands, so it's nice and comfy. Good night, bro. Sweet dreams. And now let's have a speed round of Lego-themed ideas for toilets. You can build your own custom Lego toilet signs, and then you can attach them to any surface, and it automatically becomes a toilet. Another thing you can do is build life-size toilets out of giant Lego bricks. Now I have a custom Lego toilet. If you have this special Lego rubber piece, you can build a life-size Lego toilet brush out of them. And it even looks like a real one. But let's test if it works like one on this jumbo life-size toilet. Okay, another goofy thing you can do with Lego is decorate a toilet seat with them. It looks very cool, but if you ever stepped on a Lego brick in your life, you know it's not the most genius idea. But this next idea is genius, because you can build a custom flush button for your toilet out of Lego bricks. So here I built mine, and when I place it on my actual toilet, it looks like I'm about to call in a nuclear strike. So let's test if it works. Nice. What about a toilet for a pet? You can take any Lego set box, and now it's a litter box for a cat. And this Lego box works perfectly for a Lego cat. Then I also built this fire hydrant for a Lego dog. And finally, the last toilet-themed idea, I simply built this Lego poop emoji.
Guys, I know, this build kinda stinks.
Skibidi toilets. So let's build one of them. The first one is DJ Skibidi, and I used this hairpiece with headphones, and I also gave him a Lego boombox. There it is. Then we have a small helicopter Skibidi toilet, and the propeller actually works. This next one is the common Skibidi. Looks like the original one. Here I built the acid barrel Skibidi and his brother, explosive barrel. They look very similar. The difference is one carries toxic barrels, the other carries explosives. This is the police Skibidi, and I used transparent blue and red tiles for the lights. Then I built this Strider Skibidi with long, cursed legs. And finally, the scientist Skibidi toilet. So now that we have an army of Skibidi toilets, let's simulate their battle. But first, let's load the map. Another thing you can do is toilet accessories. And since Lego is a perfect building material, I decided to build a toilet paper holder out of Duplo bricks. And this is how it works. To add the paper inside, you simply take off this piece, slide the roll in, and you've successfully reloaded your holder. But to be completely honest with you, I think it looks mid. So to upgrade it, I found this Lego Man 3D print, ordered it, and after 1 week it finally arrived. And this is how it looks in real life. Much cooler. And now he works as a personal toilet paper holder. Okay, what if I told you that you can actually create fully working Lego toilet designs? And here's the most basic example. I'm using an ordinary Lego tile that works like a small trap door. And when I take it out, the hole appears and that makes the toilet flush. But then I also built this one, and it works by pressing this rubber part, and then it drops a tile down and flushes the poop. Here's an upgrade. It looks like an ordinary porta potty, but if you look closely, you can press this button and it activates a trap door, making the toilet flush. So, okay, I built some working toilets, but does anyone know how the toilets actually work? So this final build is a toilet anatomy that'll explain how everything works. At the top, we have your normal toilet, and when you do your business, it falls down into the underground pipes. If you want to impress your class, copy this build for your science fair. So everyone has a normal toilet in their home, but I want to challenge myself to build a life-size toilet out of Lego that'll actually work. So I built it out of white bricks, and it has a working lid that can be opened and closed. And inside the toilet, I designed this container holder that you can actually fill with real water, and it'll flush by activating this handle on the side. So let's test if it works. It works, but I really wouldn't recommend using it. Okay, so Lego doesn't make a toilet piece, but I will show you hacks for how to make one. For example, you can take a stormtrooper's helmet, flip it upside down, and now it kinda looks like a toilet bowl. Bro, that's nasty. This is a Lego bucket, and you can use its handle piece as a toilet paper holder. And the bucket, well, it kinda works as a toilet. And if you have a lot of brown bricks, you can recreate the exact copy of Shrek's outhouse design. And if you pull this lever, it will... If you take this Lego flag piece and attach it like so, it kind of works as a lid for a very blocky toilet. Guys, it looks so square that it feels like it's from Minecraft. If you have Lego gold bars, you can craft a fancy toilet with golden accents. This is an antenna piece, and it works perfectly as a flush handle for a toilet. If you want to create an illusion of unrolled toilet paper, switch out a cylinder stud to this Lego door piece, and now it looks like it was unrolled. If you take a white lifesaver piece and a microphone, you can create a toilet seat for a Lego toilet. Here, I recreated a public bathroom with privacy walls, and I used Lego skeleton legs as holders for the walls. Yeah, there's barely any privacy here. For this cool toilet build, I took a white Lego man torso for the water tank and attached a chain piece for the flush handle. But the coolest part about this design is that it actually looks like it's working because of the hand moving. And finally, if you really need a super accurate toilet design, you can buy a knockoff part like this one I just got, and it looks very realistic. Okay, but let's go back in time to caveman people. They did hunt, eat, and build shelters, but they also needed to use the bathroom, and that didn't exist back then, so they simply did it in nature. Like these Lego bushes. Oh damn, that kind of doubles as ancient toilet paper. But as time went on, people got smarter, and in the medieval times, they finally invented the bathroom, which was like this Lego outhouse. So a massive upgrade from caveman times, but it's still just a hole in a seat, and also quite stinky. After that, we reached today's modern bathroom with every imaginable comfort, like an actual clean toilet, toilet paper, and even this Lego plunger. And since plumbing already exists in every household, there's no more problem with smell and hygiene because you can flush and then clean your hands after. And finally, we reached the most advanced futuristic toilets, and the only design I can think of are Japanese toilets. To enter, you just lift your hand. The door opens up automatically, and inside, we see all these buttons that activate perfume spray and even automatically open the toilet for you.
So yeah, millions of years of toilet evolution, guys.
This is a regular Lego brick, and this is a Lego brick that is made entirely out of wood. And it actually connects with another one. So I guess it's possible to create a minifig out of wood. So I bought a wood carving kit, and it has all the tools needed to carve a perfect minifig. But first, let's get the shape of a minifig to carve out on this block. Okay, after a long and satisfying process, I just made a wooden minifig. But it kind of looks more like a wooden statue. That's not a minifigure at all. And then I found out that you can actually buy an official Lego wooden minifigure. So I bought it, and this is how it looks. And this is how he looks compared to the upscaled Lego version. Oh damn, I thought it would be bigger than upscaled. But I want to make sure that it's really made out of wood.
Hey, bro, are you really made from wood?
Nope.
Okay, guys, yeah, he's made out of wood.
The next material I want to use for a minifigure is cat food. So I took some of my cat's favorite food, dumped it into a minifigure mold, and placed it in a freezer. And after a few hours, we got these meaty-looking minifig cat treats.
Oh wow, you can actually see his guts inside.
Guys, you think I should try one? Let's give them to the cat. Damn, he ate all of them. Nice. What else can you make a minifig from? What about a cake? I saw those custom cakes online, so I ordered one, and it just arrived. So let's open it up and... Guys, bro's naked. So to fix that, I'll make him some clothes from sugar paste. Starting with the yellow part, carefully shaping it, and now it can go over his head. Now I'll use a green paste to create his iconic green shirt. And finally, I'll make him a pair of blue pants. Now he looks like Mr. Bricks. Oh damn, this cake smells so good. I want a quick bite. Another way to make a minifigure not from plastic is to draw one. Well, okay, it's not a minifig, but you can make one from paper. So I got these instructions from the internet and printed them out. So now I just need to cut it all out and combine all the parts with ordinary Lego studs. And we just made an actual 2D Lego minifigure from paper. And what's cool about it is that it's a drawing that you can pose in real time. So here's Bro doing the crab, or he's doing karate tricks. But this minifigure is still only 2D, and I want to make a 3D minifigure from paper. So I found other instructions on how to make it 3D, printed them out, and started building it. Oh, this reminds me of arts and crafts lessons from elementary days. And there we go! Now we have a 3D Lego minifigure made from paper. Bro looks a bit rough around the edges. First material you can make a minifig from is candy. And I have these Lego candy bricks called candy blocks. And the coolest part about them is that they stack just like Lego. So I built a minifig from them. But it kind of feels like cheating. So to challenge myself, I'll try to make an upscaled candy man on this Lego skeleton using cotton candy. But Bros is currently not here. It's just bones. So a great start will be giving him a sweet heart. Okay, now let's deck his whole body with candy, and after a few hours of work, I made him look like this. A kinda creepy and fuzzy looking upscaled minifig from cotton candy. Not gonna lie, Bro looks like he's made out of fur and didn't shower for a week. And of course, since it's candy, he's all sticky now, so I'll give him a quick bath. Oh no! Oh, I totally forgot that cotton candy dissolves in water. And another very easy way to make a minifig from candy is by melting chocolate. Now that the chocolate is melted, let's pour it into these Lego minifig molds. And after letting it cool for a few hours, I just made a bunch of these super tasty looking chocolate minifigs. Oh wait, they don't have any faces. So to fix that, I have this white paint, and I can very carefully paint both eyes and a mouth. Damn, these are so tasty looking. But be careful with these minifigs because they melt very fast. Okay, what else can I make a minifig from? Yeah, I can make it out of candle wax. So I need a candle, a small container to melt it, a heat gun, and of course, a minifig mold. And after carefully melting the candle, pouring it into the Lego mold, and adding a wick, we've successfully created a Lego minifigure from wax. And the coolest part about it is that you can burn it legally. And when you do, it doesn't smell like plastic at all. Okay, guys, I noticed that it started to snow outside, and that gave me the idea to build a minifigure from snow. So I took every mold I have outside and started stuffing, starting with the smallest one. But this Bro is too tiny. So I took a cake mold and filled that one up. And here we have a way bigger... Oh, no, it fell down. Well, okay, there's enough snow to build a full-size Lego snowman. So I started with a huge pile of snow and then started shaping and sculpting it into a Lego minifig body. And after 2 hours of work, I made this giant Lego minifig out of snow. And it looks awesome. Honestly, I'm super satisfied with the result and the fact that it was snowing. Here's another cool trick. You can make a minifig magnetic by inserting some small magnets into it. And I chose this avatar minifig because it has long legs that can fit magnets inside. And after carefully inserting them, I just created a fully magnetic minifig. And the best part about it is that now it can stick to almost any surface. Also, now it works as a fridge magnet, or even as an iPhone decoration. But the coolest feature is that now I can make him move without touching him by using another magnet under the table. Damn, Bro looks like he's possessed. Another material you can make a minifig from is, carpet? I saw this viral trend where people make cool designs with special tools. And I came in contact with a local carpet workshop to make me one. But they invited me in and let me make my own carpet. You make one with this device that sews yarn onto the canvas super fast. It looks easy, but the tool is quite heavy and you need steady hands to do this. Also, it eats yarn like crazy. And after you do the first step of filling in the design, then comes the second part. Since the carpet is too messy now, we need to give it a fade with a trimmer. Oh wow, feels like I'm cutting actual hair. And after a solid 2 hours of work, this is what I ended up with, a cool minifig head design. But since it's a carpet, now I need to test it. Let's test how good it is at cleaning shoes. Oh man, I shouldn't have walked through a construction site. This is a minifig in a crayon costume. So naturally, I tried drawing with it and nothing happened. That's a big L. So that gave me the idea to create a minifigure from actual crayons. I bought a bunch of crayons, picked my favorite color, and melted it down. Then I poured the liquid into a minifig mold and allowed it to cool down. Oh wow, Bro looks kinda naked. So to quickly fix that, I made him clothes that look like official Lego crayon covers and dressed him up. There. Now the crayon minifig is complete, but the best part about it is that you can actually draw with this minifigure. Now that's a W. What's the opposite of plastic? Metal. So let's make a minifig from real metal. Guys, this craft is very dangerous, so don't try to recreate it at home. Okay, I bought some metal called tin. Then I broke it down into small pieces and used a heat gun to melt it down. Then I took a silicone mold and very carefully poured the metal in. I hope this will work. Okay, a few hours have passed. Let's take the mold out and see. Oh wow, no way! Bro actually looks super cool. Bro is shining like he's made from diamonds. Since he's made out of metal, let's test if he's magnetic. Okay, no, I guess not every metal is magnetic, but bro's quite heavy, so let's do a drop test. Oh damn, it broke my table! Another material I want to try to make a minifig from is jelly. I got the idea from this huge jelly bear, so I got the official Lego minifig mold, and let's get to cooking. We need to mix milk and this bag of gelatin by pouring it into this bowl and adding some food coloring. Now let's pour it into the mold and put it in the fridge. And the next day I got this. Oh no, the colors didn't mix properly. Bro looks like a zombie, but let's still test if he can jiggle. Okay, at least that works. But I want to make an accurate Jello minifig. So I'll try and make another one, this time mixing yellow, green, and blue colors very carefully. Same procedure. Back to the fridge we go. Okay, after another day of waiting, we have a new Jello minifig. And this time, it's a success. Another material to make a minifig from is concrete. So I have this bag of concrete. Poured it into this bucket, and now to make it more fluid, I need to add some water and stir it. Okay, this should be good enough. So I poured it out into the minifigure mold and left it to solidify. And now I've got some concrete minifigures. They're hard as a rock and very heavy. But to see how strong they are, let's do a hammer test. Okay, the little one crumbled. What about the bigger one? Bro's head ate the impact, but there's some concrete damage done. Okay, so one of the illegal techniques with plates is to stack them one on top of another like this. And when you add too much, the plates start to bend. And that's very illegal.
Right to jail.
But there is a legal way. Just attach these vertical plates like this, and this is a completely legal micro-city skyline. So when you want to build a Lego house, you will obviously use bricks for the walls, and that's totally fine. But I'm about to show you the way to make walls using plates. So it looks just like a normal house, but uses way fewer pieces and is cheaper. But let's test which house is stronger against my hand. Okay, that felt like it's built out of cardboard. And now the brick house. Oh, shoot. Guys, build legal houses only. And another technique with plates is to not connect them fully. And by using this technique with these pieces, I built this worm-looking thing. But it's illegal, and the worm falls apart instantly. But you can build a fully legal worm by using this tube and shoving it through the middle of these pieces. And now it works even better and can do a wiggle. Next category is knockoff pieces, but I'll show you how to make them legal. Starting with this knockoff toilet. It looks very realistic, but it doesn't work. So I'll one-up it by building this fully working toilet out of Lego. Here it is, and the best feature is that if you press the subscribe button, it actually flushes. Next is this articulating minifig. It can move its arms and legs, but you can also do that with a normal minifig by adding a rubber band to its torso. And lastly, I managed to find these special headpieces. Sadly, I don't know how to make them legal, but now I can create some cool aura edits starting from the most common faces to the ultimate and rarest ones. First illegal thing you can do is make custom bricks. So by taking this Lego brick, warming it up, and twisting it, I just created this illegal twisted brick. And it looks very satisfying, but now it's completely useless. But if you want to have it as an art piece, you can brick build a bigger one. And to make a twist, I use Technic pins inside to make it spin. And this opens up a category of criminal Lego crafts. What if you build a wall and the final brick you have is longer? You can simply cut it off so your wall is flush. Or what if you want to make some custom minifigs? You can take a Sharpie and draw on it, but there's a better way. You can print some custom stickers and apply them to a minifig. And the best part about them is you can peel them off and not damage the minifig. If you run out of needed color bricks, you can paint over them with the color you need. Close enough. And finally, if you want to remove prints of Lego pieces, you can use a special liquid. It's quite satisfying to see the print disappear, but it's illegal because it destroys the piece. And the final and most criminal thing to do is not clicking on that subscribe button. Another very illegal thing to do with Lego is to literally bend it with your hands. Oh man, so that's why it's illegal. But if you take a lot of these hinge pieces, connect them with plates, and you get this cool looking triangle, which is a completely legal building technique. Or you can build a bendy square out of hinge pieces, if you can call it a square. Another bending technique is if you add cylinder studs between bricks and add them all together, you get a wall that can create an arch. Or even a castle tower. And here's another trick. If you build a Lego wall long enough, it starts to bend. And it's possible because Lego has little gaps between bricks that allow you to bend them. And that's the brick bending building technique. So by using this technique, I connected 3 walls together and made this cool triangle. Oh wow, it's so squishy and satisfying. Never mind. Or by using plates and studs, you can make a wave for surfing. But this one is illegal.
Jail.
But if you use these rounded plates, you can make a legal wave like this one. There's also a lot of illegal builds on a minifig scale. For example, if you don't have a lightsaber, you can add 3 blue cylinder studs on a katana, and now you get an illegal broke saber. And with it, you can destroy those who can't use the Force. And if you take this stormtrooper's helmet, it works perfectly as a toilet bowl. But it's illegal. So here's how you can build a legal toilet by using this piece. And it looks even better and safer to do your business in. Okay, now let's have a speed round of legal versus illegal minifig hacks. I'm gonna build 2 rooms, one with legal builds and the other with illegal. Starting with this legal weapon display I built using bricks and a clip piece. And this illegal one is built by inserting weapons into a translucent wall. It looks cooler, but this weapon is stuck there forever. Then I built this table with drawers from suitcase pieces, and this one I built using the legal drawer technique. And they look better and have more space inside. This is a hot dog piece, and with it you can build an illegal guardrail. But if you want a legal one, just use this chain piece. So here we have a room that is fully legal, and this illegal one. And I don't want to anger the Lego gods, so the illegal one needs to be destroyed. Lego is one of the biggest tire makers in the world. They're very squishy, and there's a lot of building ideas with them. For example, if you can invert a Lego tire and fill it with studs, it now looks like a hot tub for a minifig. Or if you take a small tire and insert a stud in it, you can create a barbell for a minifig. But there's a problem, because these 2 builds are very illegal.
Right to jail.
To have a legal cauldron, you can use this piece, which is an official pot piece. And for a barbell, just use this Technic piece on a tire. And now it's legal. Damn, Pro leveled up. And here are more illegal versus legal tricks. If you shove this plant build into a tire, it's illegal. But if you take this Speed Champion's wheel, take off the cap, and attach a plant, now it's legal, because it's connected. One thing I really don't like is uncomfy sword handles. So you can make it better by using tires, but it will destroy them. So just make a handle from wheels and a long Technic axle. Okay, let's test which sword is stronger. First, the illegal one. Oh no, guys, it's very wobbly and broke instantly. Now let's test the legal sword. Guys, I've just broken my record on Fruit Ninja. And the final and most illegal way to use Lego tires is doing burnouts. For these next illegal tricks, I'll use special Lego pieces, like this Lego ice cream scoop piece. And it's cool because you can use it not only for ice cream. By stacking them one on top of another a lot of times, I just made this smoke trail for a rocket. But it's illegal because it doesn't really connect to anything and breaks the smoke. But you can build it legally by using cone and bar pieces. Okay, this looks like a low graphics setting on a video game. And here are some more ideas with special pieces. By using L brackets and plates, you can make an inverted cube. But it's illegal, so just build one using tiles. If you want to make a sail for a ship, you can use tiles with clips. But if you're an illegal pirate, you can use a minifig's cape as a sail, and it looks way cooler. Write in the comments which one is cooler, the legal sail or the illegal pirate ones. If you take these cheese slopes and place them into a window piece, you get this beautifully illegal window. But you can make it legal by using turntable plates and colorful translucent pieces. And now we even get a nice looking frame. Lego made a lot of ball pieces, but if you're broke, you can make your own by combining flower pieces and plates with round bottoms. And now you have an illegal concrete ball. And finally, here's a normal piano that uses special tiles for keys. And here's an illegal piano with antenna pieces for black keys, and this one only plays cursed music. Sometimes Lego minifigures can look a bit plain, so let's have some fun and turn one into a super cool, hyper-realistic version using modeling clay. First, we're gonna supersize it, shaping the clay into a bigger, cylindrical version of a minifig head, complete with a stud on top, just like the tiny ones you know. With our big head ready, it's time to add details. We'll sculpt a wide mouth, eye holes, a tiny nose, sharp eyebrows, a tongue, and even ears. For the eyes, we're using tiny blue marbles. But, they make it look kinda like a cartoon gone cursed. Maybe adding some hair will fix the situation? Nope, now it's deep-fried cursed. It's giving cursed shrunken head vibes. To save the day, we'll give it a paint job with some shading to make those good features pop. Also gotta paint in pupils too, so it doesn't look like it just saw a ghost. And we'll add some gloss for that shiny, I'm ready for Hollywood finish. In the end, our new buddy might just be the cutest sleep paralysis demon you've ever seen. No amount of glow up will save this one. Now let's do a quick redress. cozy sweater, pants, and a fur hat. There, all warm and cozy. Looks festive enough because we're about to craft. I think I had it somewhere lying around. Ah, yes. We're gonna craft something like this chunky snow globe, for example. It's even powered and hurls snow automatically without the need to shake it. But it's a bit boring and I want a Lego-themed one. We'll need a jar and some festive scenery built from Lego that I built from white plates and green cones for an evergreen vibe. And of course, Santa and our buddy. Just looking at these two makes me want to think about Christmas. I hope they know how to swim. Anyway, we need to secure our scenery to the base plate using some hot glue. And to fill our jar, we'll use baby oil as the fill for the particles to float around. Now for the snow part. I got these translucent blue and white pieces for bigger snowflakes, and for the smaller ones, glitter will work just fine. Everything's better with glitter. And with that, we can put the cap back on, flip it over, and it is done. It does snow there. We still need to check if it can survive excessive shaking, because, let's face it, everyone shakes the living crap out of them. I gave it my best shake, but what is one person compared to a whole washing machine? So for the ultimate test, we'll shake it in there. Well, okay, maybe that was a bit too much, but it still survived. I was sitting one day thinking what else I could craft, and started to goof around with a minifig. And that gave me an idea. I started throwing a minifig coated in paint on the canvas and realized that I could use Lego as a stamp to make all kinds of shapes. Then I took a roller, applied the paint more evenly, and started blasting. It made some nice prints, and the choice of color was on point. This is modern art right here. I think I should hang it on my wall to showcase my artistic genius. Now that I feel extra creative, I decided to grab a base plate for a canvas and a bunch of these tile pieces to lay out a stamp of an 8-bit Mario. It looks so accurate. Oh yeah, it has that tactile feeling. And the best part is that the tiles are smooth and sit a bit higher than the base plate, so it will make a very accurate stamp. Then I decided to make a skull emoji for some edgy design. Looks close enough to the skelly. And I also made a booty for our big boy Joey here. Okay, time to make some art. Let's take a roller and a copious amount of red paint and cover the entire surface of our stamp, making sure that the paint is spread evenly because we have standards here. Now carefully place the paper down without moving it and gently press down to evenly absorb the paint. And there you have it, the perfect copy of Mario. It's so good I want to frame it right away. Another art piece is done. Maybe this will work just as great on a shirt. For this one, I'll take off my shirt and lay it down flat on the table. Then I'll take that skull emoji and some black paint, apply it on the stamp, then gently press it on the shirt. And you know the best part about this craft? You can make as many copies of the same print as you want. There's no need to rebuild it every time. Just apply some paint and you are good to go. And I gotta say, this design made the t-shirt 1,000 times cooler. Combined with some fresh kicks, I will look fresh. This is definitely a win. This is an ordinary Lego brick, but with an LED, some batteries, wires, and a switch, you can transform it into a legit Lego flashlight. First, I'm drilling a hole for the LED and clearing out space at the bottom for the electronics. After slotting in the LED and adding a switch at the back, it's time to wire the system, soldering one wire and ensuring the polarity is correct. Then I'll insert batteries to complete the circuit, securing everything with glue. And just look at that. The result is a surprisingly bright flashlight, perfect for finding lost bricks in the dark. Now, where's Darth Vader? What the frick? So, the other day I noticed some roaches in my room and decided to eat them. Nah, just kidding. I want to craft them a living space out of Lego, like a small terrarium of sorts. So, with pieces ready, I started laying out the basic rounded base template and working to the top with a modular transparent enclosure and, of course, the lid at the top. For the bottom part, we need some soil that I'll borrow from this plant since it does not need it because it's made from plastic. After filling the bottom part, I think I need to grab some of these decorative rocks too. They somehow make this terrarium look like a nice backyard. But to make it extra cozy, we need some greenery. So I got some very soft and mushy moss from the woods nearby and carefully laid out a small area in the corner, finishing it up with another rock for maximum feng shui. Also, let's add Derek as a personal gardener, and our enclosure is almost done. Looks very minimalistic and modern. I also taped a light to the top to make sure it's nice and lit up. I wouldn't mind living here, but now it's time to dump our friends into their new home. Honestly, the cockroaches seem to be content in their new home, and it's perfect for me because now I know exactly where they are. But as for Derek, I don't think he's vibing too much in there. I found this Froggo with a solar panel, a perfect power source for a solar-powered car with an electric motor. My plan is to build a Cybertruck-inspired vehicle. I'll start with these chunky wheels, then create the exterior, building a triangular shape, and of course adding the big ol' windshield. Now for the engine. First, I'll secure it to the gear that will drive the rear wheels. Finally, I'll connect the solar panel to the motor with some wires. And voila! Our engineering marvel is complete. Unfortunately, the weather is pretty mid right now, but I have a solution. I'll just use my film light. And come on. It works! I thought I wired it wrong, but I'm so happy it works. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Another crafty thing you can do is stick a bunch of fake diamonds on a minifigure. Apparently, it's a viral trend called Bedazzling. So let's take this sparkle magic to a Lego minifig. First, we'll apply some glue and carefully bedazzle the entire minifig using tweezers. Watch as this basic minifig transforms into the ultimate drip machine. But why stop there? Let's take it up a notch and turn it into a chain. By connecting 4 Lego chains, you can snap your drippy fig to a stud, and voila! You've got yourself a diamond bling chain that boosts your aura stats. Talk about leveling up. Next, let's use colorful single stud pieces to bedazzle a phone case. I'm going for a fire pattern, and it's looking lit, literally. So yeah, using Lego to bedazzle things definitely works. So I have some cheap and dull-looking magnets on my fridge, and I think I can make them look better with some Lego. I'm gonna build popular city landmarks and test if they can hold as real magnets. Starting with this Ferris wheel-looking thing standing next to a clock tower. Can you guess what it is? It's London in all its beauty. Next, I built Paris with its iconic Eiffel Tower and French flag on top. Now I'm building Japan with Mount Fuji, a temple with a hot dog piece, and a sakura tree. And now for something from the land of freedom and Mickey D's. They have loads of landmarks to choose from, but real Americans know that the biggest symbol of freedom is Walmart. So I built one. Well, okay, I'll build an actual landmark like the Empire State Building. Okay, we have our city landmarks done. I think they look very nice, but there's one thing left. Time to turn them into fridge magnets. This doesn't look promising. Maybe adding more glue will help? Glue solves all the problems. Okay, the magnets are fully done. Let's see how they look on the fridge. And most importantly, test if they fall off. Alright, how about a shake test? Surprise, surprise, they survived. Okay, let me yank the door a little bit. Nice. Another thing I want to craft out of Lego is a fixture for my boring and scuffed lamp, because it looks very lame and doesn't fit the vibe in my room. So I got a bunch of these round studs in different colors and a bunch of translucent bricks, and by combining them in a specific pattern, you get this staircase-looking thingy. And the cool part is that it can bend to the sides. So by stacking it with more multicolored bricks, we get a nice and trippy-looking round part that we can connect into a full circle. And to me, it looks like those magic mosaic windows you find in churches and whatnot. Kinda satisfying to look at. Now let's see how it looks on the light itself. Moment of truth. Oh wow, it looks way better than I expected. The design gives the lamp a playful and creative aesthetic, perfect for adding a pop of color to any room, and nobody would even think it's made out of Lego. I've got this huge Lego head, but I think I can craft it even bigger out of this giant sheet of cardboard. So let's start. Let me cover this up real quick, and with a little bit of editing help, we've got our top part done with inner supports to make sure it doesn't fall apart. Next up, I'll be using this new real-life duping hack to make another one. See? It actually works! Okay, now we need the middle part of it. So let me just... Damn, my editor is generous today. I think it's just the perfect size. All I need now is a face, so let's paint it. I am no Picasso, but this looks better than I expected. We've got 2 circular eyes and a smile. Hey, I've got an idea. Let me add some gaming equipment to make it cozy inside, because it's big enough to work as a mini gaming cave. I furnished it with a tiny screen, classy paintings, and these gorgeous RGB lights. and nobody would even know that you're in there. Nice and cozy for some alone time when you're tired from your chores and responsibilities. Alright, I need to get out of this head because I have some more Lego videos to film, but this Lego head is a winner in my book. What about customizing shoes with Lego? For my next Wildcraft project, I snagged some basic kicks off Craigslist. The black and white colors give off an icy vibe, and lucky for me, I've got a stash of icy Lego pieces chilling in the fridge. To hold the shoe while I work, I'll use this handy leg. Get it? This needs to turn out amazing because I'm hoping to flip these on the market. And check out these insane shoes. With all the protruding parts and spikes, they look like they were carved from ancient ice. True designer drip. But are they comfortable? Let's try them on. They feel super comfy and definitely look rad, but with pieces falling off here and there, they're probably better as a showpiece. When you're building so tiny, even the lighter can seem like a big threat. So to protect this city, we need to build some institutions. Starting from the fire station that has these tall windows and a pole for the fire guard to slide from. I even built a fire truck with the ladder that can move and a helicopter that can actually fly. Wow, that's like 1,000 IQ build. I also built these firefighters using 3 plates and a silver stud as a helmet. Wait, how will they slide down the pole if they don't have hands? OMG, a man has fallen off and can't get up!
Build the hospital, and off to the rescue!
Phew, don't worry, he's fine. Next, let's build a police station out of blue plates and some clear cheese slopes for windows and black rounded studs for the first floor, a policeman, and a patrol car. Finally, the jail that has chain pieces for the fence. And we have all of our institutions in one place. Wait, I think I accidentally used an illegal building technique. Oh no, Mr. Bricks, man, don't take it away. Next, I challenge myself to build 15 micro vehicles, starting from this red car that only uses 1 rollerblade piece and kinda looks like Lightning McQueen. You can't go wrong with this one. Next, let's see if we can build a Cybertruck on a micro scale. Yes, we can, and it's from only 2 pieces, and it doesn't have windows, so you can't destroy it. What about a limousine? This one took 9 pieces, and now Micropolis celebrities can have a party in it. I wish I was famous like them. And here's a bulldozer for all the Micropolis construction needs. And let's also build a bullet train to go from one side of the city to the other fast. And I built rail tracks using these grill pieces. Now we can test how fast this train can go from one point to the other by simply placing it on the tracks. And this train needs more training for the job. It can barely stay on track. Let's build air vehicles now, like this huge commercial airplane for cheap flights, helicopter and hot air balloon to tour above Micropolis. Kinda gives the vibe of up a little bit. And finally, a rocket with its very own launch pad. Yep, this is space Y, not X, if you know what I mean. And finally, there are water vehicles, and let's test them in this bowl. Here's a container ship to transport food to Micropolis. Well, I guess no food for today, it seems. This triple-decker cruise ship that can fit at least 8 microfigures. Oh no, I think they're drowning. Thank God we have a lifeguard on site with his own micro jet ski to save the passengers from disaster. Okay, crisis averted. I also built this expensive yacht, but then it got sunk by the pirate ship. And finally, I built this ship in a bottle. And surprisingly, it is the only boat that can actually float. Just like every city, our city will need people. But not every minifigure will do. They all eagerly anticipate their chance to explore the Micropolis. But the truth is, regular minifigures are banned from the city. So I started digging through all of my shelves to find the smallest one. How about this teenager? Or this baby? Or only a baby's head? But then I found these nano figures. They're so small, you need to stack 3 of them to get to the regular size. But it's all cheating, because we need to get creative and craft our own minifigures. How about stacking 3 studs on top of each other? That looks like a minifigure. So I started to build them to populate my city, starting with the city mayor in this navy blue suit. Then I did a bunch of random NPC microfigures. This is a local celebrity in a golden outfit made from flower pieces. And she has like 30 bodyguards around her. Talk about security. And you can also modify studs. So this one will be with a mustache, and if you place another stud, it looks like a cowboy hat. These look like an ideal family to me. So cute. And I also made the Simpsons family. Color-accurate mermaid, Shrek, SpongeBob,
And Patrick.
and I think I made enough people. Let's do the final check. Oh my God, there's a naked man. Next, I've challenged myself to build a micro-scale airport in under 1 second. I guess I'm really that good. We've got a terminal, a watchtower with antenna and satellite dish on top, runway for takeoff and landing that has studs and lights, and this tiny luggage carrier. But no planes have landed in Micropolis yet, so let's put it to the test with this tiny crop duster. Now let's try a passenger plane. Nice, that was smooth. But what if we land a big beluga cargo plane? Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. Now let's have a speed round of illegal building techniques that you can use for building in microscale. First, I want to use everyone's favorite glizzy piece, so let me quickly borrow that and use it for a Golden Gate Bridge. Damn, I'm a Lego genius. Next, I built this futuristic-looking skyscraper, and it's insanely illegal. But those round windows look so awesome. And for some contrast, I built a wheat field out of hands. And many of you know these huge aquariums inside the mall that look really majestic. So I built the micro version aquarium, and this fish, unfortunately, will never get out. This gas truck with bottom axle piece illegal technique. And this shows that transparent tiles can create an illusion of some modern art object. And finally, the not-so-stable tower that kinda looks like the CN Tower in Toronto and that one Drake album cover. Wait, I think it's missing something. So this is the tiniest official Lego brick called Modulex. It's hard to get, and if you give it to a minifigure, it looks like he's building a Lego house. Okay, the first house of Micropolis is built, but that's not enough. So here's a simple brick house. And finally, let's build a super modern villa with a rounded fancy look on top of a tiny hill. And it has a pool and sports cars in front. But Micropolis citizens also need a business district with a cool skyline. So I built a New York City set to represent that. Yeah, it looks very nice. But we only need this part. Yep, this is perfect. It already looks like those massive skyscrapers you would see in business centers. So I got inspired and built a bunch of them, starting from the futuristic spiral tower built from a bunch of square plates that you can rotate and get this super cool effect. These are made with a sideways building technique and grill pieces to look like windows. And this is simply white and translucent tiles stacked together. This translucent building has super cool grooves that separate the floors, and inside it has an elevator. And I think I accidentally built a cursed skyscraper using spiderweb pieces, and also this sleek-looking building made of tiles. Also, to secure citizens' cash, I built this antique-looking bank. And let's not forget the daily commute to work. So to make it easier, I built this railway that goes through all of the business district. For the final touch, I added an outside gym where citizens can get their dream body. And a Walmart for all the grocery shopping. And ta-da! Our business district is fully complete. But every city has to have neon colors at night, so I added these tiny lights to simulate the vibe of that. That looks just like Night City from Cyberpunk. Then I decided to build something that every big city has, a zoo. Starting from a speed round of 20 animals. So here's a crocodile I made from plate, tile, and cheese slope. A tiger that has clips instead of legs, kinda cursed. Rhinoceros with moving horns from tooth pieces. Giraffe that uses a tap piece as a head. A thick gorilla built with Among Us pieces. Blocky kangaroo with goofy ass legs. Peacock with beautiful plant leaves for feathers. Turtle from a skate piece and round tile. And it's too small to worry about the plastic straws. Sheep with face and eyes from binoculars. Elephant, and I used a sideways building technique for his ears. Toucan bird with a slope for a nose. Colorful parrot. Lazy walrus with fangs. Penguin with a weirdly accurate flipper piece. Then I built a lion, and his mouth is actually made from a flower piece. Big Chungus rabbit. What an absolute unit. A very angry-looking bull with huge horns. Now let's place the animals in the actual zoo. I built a nice icy terrain for a penguin and walrus, a savanna for a giraffe and birds, and a pond for crocodiles. And it's done. Wait, I just realized that Micropolis citizens look a little depressed. So, after thinking for a minute, I decided to build a theme park for them, starting with a Ferris wheel that I built using carriage wheels and headlight pieces, but I think some of the visitors are too short to go on this ride, and this long water slide they can all enjoy, together with this carousel that can spin. But then I thought about what to build for our older citizens to distract them from the inevitable sadness. And I decided to build a Las Vegas sphere. I used a hemisphere piece for it. Look, they're promoting Lego. And after these activities, citizens will get hungry. So here's a KFC.
Howdy, folks.
Starbucks, And for the most sophisticated gourmet lovers, the Panera bread itself. But every table looks empty. I also built this Apple store for microfigs to spend their money at, and it sells the newest iPhones and MacBooks too. Look, they're already in line for the newest iPhone. Lastly, I built this Gucci store for citizens to buy and flex their new drip. And I guess it's only for the microscopic prices. And I could not leave the city without a Lego store. So here's one that sells the biggest sets ever, like this artword map set I built from 2 pieces, Eiffel Tower set made out of hand and plate, and this Titanic set, made from a dark red plate, black plate and tiles, and white plate with 2 yellow studs. Okay, these sets really do look like Lego sets for minifigures. And we completed all our attractions. And to protect Micropolis, let's build a whole military base. So here's the main building, and I'll call it Octagon. And it has tiny windows made from the back of the headlight pieces. Here's the barracks that I built for soldiers to live in, and they will need a training area with an obstacle course, which includes heavy tires, a mud area for crawling, and a cheese slope as ladders to reach the finish line. Military bases have to have weapons. So here's the helicopter that uses gray binocular pieces, 2 fighter jets with grill pieces on the side, many tanks ready to rush B. And finally, I wanted to give the military some serious firepower. So here's the futuristic railgun made from the projectile launcher. This bad boy moves and can shoot in any direction. Okay, the military base is locked and loaded, but will it survive a Nerf gun test? Wow, the tanks flipped over and the aircraft got wrecked. Nerf guns are clearly pay to win. All cities need places to enjoy some nature, like parks. So let's build an actual micro-scale version of Central Park. First, we need a green lawn, and now let's plant some trees, but from Lego. Let's start with these trees I built using tap and hand pieces, and they look kinda dead. This is a simple tree, and I used a balloon piece for it. And then I used green Technic ball pieces for these thick-looking trees. You can also make trees by stacking dish pieces and then stack them on top of each other too. And these 2 I built using the snot technique. I found this broom with the bottom piece that looks like a Christmas tree, a hairbrush that looks like a tree in the fall season, here's a beautiful sakura, and this green crown piece looks like a tree too. Tree you could definitely find in Minecraft. And finally, this masterpiece from Frogs. Central Park has 18,000 trees of all kinds, and we made like 20 unique trees out of Lego. For the actual park, I'm building a fence around the area and finishing it with the main entrance arch. But the park lacks some decoration. So I used these blue diamond pieces to represent a functioning fountain. And what is a park without a lake? So I'm just going to... yeah, that's better. Now these ladies can enjoy their morning yoga in the park. So now our city is complete, and it's time to fully assemble it into one big unit by connecting all of the sections with streets made from tiles, and grill pieces for crossroads, and joining a water slide to the beach zone. So let's have a little bit of a festive mood in here. Damn, I think I simulated the first ever disaster in a Micropolis city. Oh wow, that was quite a lot of damage just from a confetti cannon. And that gave me an idea to test more disasters. How about a cat? Let's see if Micropolis can withstand a Catzilla attack. I think big cats are not an issue for the city because this cat is so careful it didn't even topple a thing in its path. And for the next disaster, I have this huge meteor I made using 5,000 bricks, and I want to throw it on the city. OMG, there's still some buildings standing. And finally, I wanted to simulate a flood, so I took the whole city outside and brought a lot of water with me to create a tsunami level wave. Okay, here goes nothing. Not gonna lie, the slow-mo looks awesome. Dude, this drowned all the city, but the shops are still open. And this is all the destruction for today. And I have to admit, I was a little sad to destroy our tiny city, but it was also kind of satisfying. But